regretful. Memela, therefore, nafla sitrachim mshalta. The other side fell from its rule, v'gavusa, and its arrogance, v'gasas ruch, its coarseness, v'yisrael atzmam heim maminim. The animal soul, lost its bearing. The godly soul, which is the essence of the Jew, is a believing person, is a believing soul. And even the other side, the animal side, no doubts. Be'emunah and faith, permission was granted to confuse and disturb the person b'divrei sheker, with false things, umirmo, and lies, outright lies, laharbis chorei, to increase the rewards of the person, kipituye hazoyne leven hamelech, like the story of the harlot with the prince. The prince was a very fine young man, but the king wanted to know what was going on in the life of the prince, whether the prince really was a fine, upstanding person. So the king hired a harlot, lady of the night, and ordered her to try to entrap his beloved prince, to see if the prince would stay away, would be able to withstand the temptations. So the harlot doesn't want the prince to sin, because if the prince sins, she won't get paid as much. But she's only paid if she tries to entice him. So she's got to try to entice him. But she doesn't want him to become enticed. So b'sheker mirmo, so this is like the harlot who's supposed to go ahead and try to entice the prince with falsehood and all kinds of innuendo, all kinds of sleight of hand, b'rshus hamelech, with the permission of the king, commission is by B'Zohar Kodesh, as the Holy Zohar says. So this is something that the Yetzer Hara is given the power to do. But in truth, the soul knows that there is only God and only the Torah, and all of this is bupkis, it's babamaisis, it's worthless. But in the interim, the animal soul feels how important, and it tries to, and it feels that this is that it's so bad, or things are miserable. It's just like like certain political parties that say, "Oh, the economy is the worst it's ever been in 50, 100 years," even though when they said it, there was only 6% unemployment or 5% unemployment. But it's the worst economy. The worst economy now, it's 10%. It's not the worst economy. But this, when it comes to political organizations, that's what they do. They try to say things that are totally outrageous to make people feel a certain way. The same thing is true with the animal soul. It makes you feel that certain things are important, certain things are unimportant, certain issues are really, really things that you have to pursue and you have to go after. Whoa, you won't be popular unless you go to certain places and vacation certain places, play golf in certain places, learn how to play tennis by a certain pro, and have your nails manicured in a certain place. You're not going to be good unless you go to the spas that people go to. You're just not with it unless you drive the right cars. All of this are the pituye of the Yetzer Hara. The evil inclination is trying to get the person totally unfocused on godliness. And what you need to do is you need to shake it up and then appeal to a higher level within it. That's called dealing with the problem, going and dealing with it spatially, going around it and seeing its weaknesses, breaking it apart into little pieces by softening it, by understanding what is happening, and then appealing to its higher nature, that you're blocking out goodness. You're blocking out what is holy, what is wholesome, what is purposeful, what has meaning, what brings about the ultimate purpose of creation. And these are the two different steps, making the person break down the evil inclination within himself by being embarrassed, and then appealing to the higher level, that in this process you've blocked out that which is good and holy. And so you bring the person to want to come back to holiness. And that's what happened with the Jews in the desert, and that's what happens with a person when he makes this assessment